Today, let's go over the best budget recruits you could get in college football 26. What is a budget recruit, man? That's a very good question. A lot of you guys, as we're doing the Dynasty breakdowns for every single position group, a lot of you guys saying, hey, I'm a 1-2-star program. I can't just go get any player I want. I can't prioritize one archetype. I'm barely fighting for the guys I'm currently getting. So we're going to go over budget guys, man. Guys that's going to be a little bit easier to get, but also bring good value when it comes to archetype. Maybe they develop good. Maybe they end up with really good speed if you get them at a gym. So we're just going to go over a few of those guys, man. If y'all enjoyed this content, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, check out the Twitch, and let's hop in. All right, man. So let's hop right into it, man. So we're Delaware 1-star school, and we have a list of, just players, budget players, whether they're 3 stars, 2 stars, that you could easily get no matter what program you're looking at, man. And we are bad. We are literally a 1-star school with horrible grades. Can never hard sell. We're 51 overall. And let's just come over here to the board. We're actually at week 2 as well, man. So we're a few weeks into the season, just to show you guys you don't have to do this day one. Like, you go after some guys day one, you'll have a chance to actually be in their recruitment. But even mid-years, there's still budget guys that you could pursue, man. And after we dropped all the archetypes, we know who's good, who's, you might want to avoid at every single position. First one I'm going to go with is tight end, man. I think a super budget option is going to be your blocking tight end. And the reason I call them budget, because you could get them at a 2-star. You could get them at a 3-star. As long as they're a gem, they could be elite players. They could turn out to go up into the 80s, maybe even the 90s as a 3-star. You could get a very good blocking tight end, man. So, and you see here, you got a couple under-recruited guys. EA has done a pretty good job of nerfing. Pretty much last year, it was so many guys under-recruited. EA has done a pretty good job of nerfing that this year, man. It's very different. It's still guys. You'll still see a 5-star having no offers by like week 9. You'll still see some stuff like that. Same with 4 stars, but nowhere near as many as last year. Same thing with the 3 stars. And we see here a blocking tight end, being under-recruited. This is a prime example of a guy you could go out, get, and probably pretty easily, especially when you look at the other schools you're competing with, man. All other smaller programs. So you could go find you a blocking tight end. There's only one here that's left. The rest are gritty possession. We already know that's a no-go. But also you could come down to the 2 stars. I usually don't like to go after 2 stars, but for a blocking tight end, it's serviceable. You could go get you a blocking 2-star tight end as long as he's, like I said, a gem, and come in with at least impact development. You're green. You're in the good, man. So go find you a blocking tight end. That's a budget guy. And last year, that was my favorite strategy to get my pro potential to go up. Just get a 3-star gem tight end. I knew he was going to get drafted as long as the skill caps is in a solid spot, because they just progress so well for some reason. And doing the whole tight end video, they are meta, man. Blocking tight ends progress well. And then also vertical threat tight ends are very good. But I probably wouldn't go after a 2-star. I'll probably want a 3-star vertical threat tight end. Also probably want a gem. My next budget guy to go after is going to be the thumping athlete middle linebacker, man. Same exact deal from last year. Last year it was called the run stopping athlete linebacker. They just changed the verbiage a little bit, but still elite. And the good part is, we're at week 2, like I already explained, and there's still guys here with no scholarship offer as a 3-star. And these guys are elite, man. They come in with good speed, tackling. They can also rush the passer. They can play linebacker, safety. And the good thing is, with the update that dropped today, you can now do position changes. You can now move guys around to, these guys, like I said, they could play anywhere. So if you need a safety, go throw them at safety. And it's just a budget do-it-all guy, man. You need a D lineman. Last year, my favorite D lineman was actually this athlete run stopper from last year, just moving the D-line, because they come in with elite speed. You get some of these 3-stars, they come in with 89 speed. You really not seeing that on the D-line to start as a freshman. So that's the thing I love about these guys, man. And like I said, we have a handful here, or really 3 that we could go after right now. And like I said, some of these guys you will literally get for free. Easy money. So make sure you pursue them. 3 stars. If you have a 4-star that's being under-recruited, hey, go after him, man. If you have a 5-star, he may be generational. You rarely see the 5-star athlete thumper. But when you do, I'll say pursue him at all costs. Also with these guys, I really don't even care if they're a bust. I'm gonna be honest. If they're a bust, Jim, it almost don't matter. If they're a bust, I'm probably gonna move them to the D-line because the D-line skill caps are a little bit more forgiving for, if he's a bust. So I'll probably move him to D-line. But if he's a Jim, linebacker, wherever I need him, I'm gonna put him at. So my next budget option here, we're gonna move over to the O-line, man. And let's first start with center. I just want to show y'all something before we get into the first guy. So we're searching by 3 stars. I don't know why it's showing me 4 stars. Search by 3 stars, lineman that's left. Look at center. All of these guys pretty much are all going to be athletes, man. Or excuse me, agile. You got to get a raw strength in here, but most of these guys that's under-recruited agile, you get one well-rounded, and then the rest is agile, strength, pass protector. My favorite old lineman by far is well-rounded. Well, if you come over to the guard position, you actually have a lot more well-rounded guys being under-recruited. So we got one here as the top guy. You got another one here, 2, 3, and you also get 4, and you get 5. You just get a lot more under-recruited, well-rounded offensive linemen at guard compared to center and compared to tackle. And let's come over here to tackle for the 3 stars. And we're going to have 2. It's a lot more tackles that's being under-recruited. But it's only 2 well-rounded guys. This is one right here. And then come all the way down. We'll have another one down the board. And like I said, this is my favorite archetype for old lineman by far, by a mile. So you got to find them at guard. Like I said, just more guards being under-recruited. So, and now that you, like I said, can move offensive linemen around now with the update, it's not as big of a deal if you bring in a bunch of guards and just move them to tackle or move them wherever you need them. So just another budget option to, get a guy that's going to be, like I said, I think the best offensive lineman in the game. One thing to note is almost like the CPU knows which the good archetypes are, man. It's almost like that because like we have a bunch of 4-star receivers that's being under-recruited. Only one of them going to be a speedster. Only one here is a speedster. In my opinion, speedster is the best receiving archetype in the game. Is it by a wide margin? No, but I just prefer speedster out of all of these archetypes. And the CPU kind of just knows. They kind of just knows. But at the end of the day, there will be a lot of under-recruited receivers this year, man. Receivers and running backs. So I would just say they're both kind of budget option. If you want a 4-star, look at receiver, look at running back early in your draft or early in your recruiting cycle. A lot of these guys just go under-recruited. And here you could get an east-west playmaker. I might be a little bit cautious because, you got a lot of big-time schools there. But one like this, where this guy's from Maryland, and I know Florida probably don't have a real pipeline. Like, this one is an open recruitment, and I could get an east-west playmaker, an archetype that could be the fastest in the game. These are the fastest running backs in the game at a 4-star level, and he's an athlete. He might be able to play another position, maybe defense. I'm definitely going after a guy like this, man. Budget option. You get him at a 4-star. Another one here. Another guy I would definitely highly consider pursuing. So just keep that in mind. These east-west playmakers, and a lot of these running backs just seem to be a little bit under-recruited compared to like quarterback. Last year it was quarterbacks being super under-recruited. You'll have a bunch of 4-star, 3-star quarterbacks that, don't get scholarship offers all the way to the end of the season. This year, it's a little bit different, man. You don't have as many quarterbacks as free as they were last year. But you do have a bunch of 3-stars here. And that goes into my next budget option. If you're going to go after a 3-star quarterback and, you kind of trying to find the best archetype, I would say dual threat athlete, man. I think that's going to be your best budget option. But like I said, the CPU seems to know what's the good archetypes are. So it's not that many we could pursue. It's only one of them here we could pursue at a 3-star. But I would go after this guy, especially looking at them other teams we got to compete against. I feel like we could win that recruitment. So if I'm going to go after a 3-star quarterback, I'm probably going to lean towards the dual threat. And my last one for safeties. So safeties is interesting because strong safety is just not that many of them. Like you see how many free safeties we have left as a 3-star. Look at free safety is so many less than or look at strong safety is so many less than the free safeties. It's interesting, man. It just seems like it's a lot less strong safeties in each draft class, recruiting class. So how do you fix that, man? Well, you come over here to corner, it's a lot of corners that ends up being under recruited. So it's a lot of boundary. You can bring in a boundary corner, and now, like I said, position changes work. You can move some of these boundary corners over. You can also move some of these slot corners over to safety as well, as they come in a tad bit slower, but you're getting a little bit better coverage. So you got some options here, man. You go at their boundary corner and just look how many boundary corners there are, man. Like just so many. Bump and run, only like a couple here. But it's just so many under-recruited cornerbacks compared to, you know, other positions. Like comparing it to tight end, it's like, damn, we only have literally 5 here, at least at the, you know, 3-star level. So just understand it's levels to it, man. You got to have a little bit of a strategy. Some guys you could maybe ignore to the end of the season, like corner. If you got so many corners being under-recruited, okay, you maybe could ignore that compared to tight end. If you need a tight end, don't wait. Don't wait, because if you lose out, you might have to end up getting you a 2-star tight end, which is not the end of the world, because I said blocking tight ends are good. But quarterback, another one, you might not want to wait. You might want to go get your guy, because the archetype you want may go fast. But that's all I got for y'all boys. If y'all enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Click the video on the screen for my Purdue series, but we on to the next one.